This exercise is going to teach you how to flex your hips so that the sockets move over a femur, just like that. So we're looking for these sockets to rotate over the femur so that these sits bones, those things that you sit on a hard surface, you're gonna see that they move up and back. They start facing down, they go up and back. And we're gonna do this in a tall kneeling version. So just because it's gonna be easier to feel that motion with the whole torso connected to this pelvis. So that way you're not moving from anywhere else, not arching your back or rounding it. You're just moving from those hip sockets over the thigh bones. So you can take a mat, fold it in half so it's a little extra cushion so it's comfortable to kneel on. And you're gonna start with your knees about hip width apart. They don't have to touch, they don't have to be too wide. And you're gonna start with hands on the hips. Okay, so you can feel that pelvis that I showed you, and you can feel that where the sits bones are to start. So try to get those sits bones to face down without being directly on top of your knees first, because a lot of people here are gonna feel too much of a hip stretch, and we don't want that, because usually it makes your back arch too. So put your hips just a little behind your knees to start, and then do a big exhale. And then just guide those sits bones to face directly down while feeling length as you blow, so the top of your head's going further up to the ceiling. You're also gonna feel that your rib cage deflates as you do that. Okay, so now your trunk is set up, everything from your hips up is one unit, you don't move anywhere else but those hip sockets, and you're gonna breathe in. As you blow and exhale, you're gonna start to drive your hips up and back at the same time. So you're not going to sit down to your heels, but you are getting those sits bones to face up and back as much as possible while you stay connected to the hips, or rather hips stay connected to the trunk. Okay, when you pause or you feel stuck, you breathe in. And make sure those exhales are very long. You're trying to get those sits bones to go back, 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 back as far as they go. Pause whenever you feel stuck to breathe in. You should feel balanced, so you should feel that your knees and your feet are on the floor. You shouldn't feel that you're about to fall on your face and your feet are lifting up. If that's the case, go back to the setup. Make sure you have that length established first. Once you get into whatever range you have available, so you might not get to here, maybe you'll get to here. Your range of motion might not be the same as mine, but the instructions are the same. However much these hips can flex, however much you can get those sits bones to go up and back at the same time, you're gonna feel a glute stretch. So you're gonna help open up these tissues in the back of the hip. You're gonna find every exhale gives you a little bit more of that stretch. So stay in it for a few breaths. When you wanna come out, you're gonna blow and push your hips forward to reverse the motion. Take your time when you do this, so you make sure it's those sits bones coming up again to face down, and you end up with your hips just a little bit behind your knees. If you take your time and do it well, you're gonna feel the whole back of your legs, your hamstrings and your glutes helping you to get back up. And you might even feel some obliques because you did a good job of making sure your rib cage stays connected to the pelvis. You didn't arch or round your back through it, and that's how you're gonna get really tall back again.